Hi, everybody. This is Linda Zook, and I am on GoTarryn TV with Taryn, the traveling trainer.
Hey everybody, happy Tuesday, April the 14th. Welcome to today's GoTarryn TV show. And there you see side by side, we've got Linda Zuck of Focus 5 Consulting. She's the president of that company. And Linda, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us right here on our weekly Skype interview blog.
Oh, it's my pleasure. This is fun.
Well, it's great to have you. You know, Linda, we usually do these things every Thursday, but the people out there are getting a real treat. This is a special Tuesday edition, and so I'm so happy that we could get you right here. And I wanted to just start from the very beginning, and I just want you to just, if you could, tell the folks about your background and, just a little bit about yourself. That way we could jump right into it, and I can get to the meat of the questions for you here.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to tell you about where I was born and how I grew up, but I'll let you know a little bit about my professional information. I started my work as a counselor. I worked with adults and with individuals. I did a lot of couples coaching, and I did a lot of work with groups. And I moved from that to business coaching, and it was a really good move for me to make. So I bring some of my counseling background when it's appropriate with the permission of the people who I work with. And it helps them to have a lot of insight into things that are going on in their life, and as it concerns their business. And from the business coaching, I've done a lot of facilitating. I work with teams, and I do a lot of retreats. And one of my favorite things to do is facilitating roundtables. And I have two brainstorming roundtables that I'm working with right now.
Excellent, Linda. And I know we were talking earlier, and next Thursday, folks, April the 23rd, you want to put this on your calendar. I think that you've got a brainstorming roundtable going on that day. Again, that's not this Thursday, but next Thursday. Can you tell the folks just a little bit about that, please?
Sure, it's my pleasure. When you think about being a small business owner, and then you think about any kinds of issues or opportunities that you might have, a lot of times we think in our minds about, we go over and over what the problem is or what the opportunity is. And I like to say that the mind is a really bad neighborhood. And what I have learned is that speaking out loud makes a huge difference in terms of just doing it yourself, even though you may be talking to yourself. If you're speaking the problem out loud, you're going to come up with a much better answer. Well, if you have a great answer from yourself, imagine what it would be like if you had six people or eight people who are all business owners, and we're all experiencing very similar things to what you're experiencing, to give you advice, to get for you help you get clarity. And it's like having your own board of directors. So you have a real safe space that is completely confidential, completely private. Once a month, people bring their issues or their opportunities to this brainstorming roundtable, and people have fun, and everyone walks away with a lot of clarity about their own business, even though it might be somebody else's issue that they're dealing with.
Very good, Linda. And for the folks watching out there, in case you missed it again, we're going to be talking about it periodically throughout this video blog. I'm going to keep hammering it and repetitive. You don't want to miss it. If you can sign up, you got to contact Linda. We're going to have her contact information at the end of this video blog. But again, Thursday next week, next Thursday, April the 23rd, they meet once a month during lunchtime, and again, they're going to be doing it in the Sandy Springs area. So I'm just going to harp on that and just sound like a broken record because I want the people to know that they've got to get to this thing. So that's good. Now, okay, we talked a little bit about how you were brought into business coaching and how that ties in. What do you like about being a business coach too?
Well, I think that I am a natural problem solver, and so it's really very satisfying to work with somebody who has their own business or works for a large company, but is responsible for creating their own client base.
Okay.
And I'm just really good at listening, at coming up with ideas, and helping people. I have lots of different styles that I can bring, lots of tools in my toolbox. So if somebody needs structure, I can bring structure. If somebody just wants to talk and get different ideas, we can just have a conversation and come up with different ways of solving a problem. But the thing that I really like is that the clients who I have always get something from working with me. I usually end the call with somebody really thanking me for what they've learned, and I have a lot to offer. So helping small business owners to get more clients, to get make more money, to get really clear and focused about what they're doing, where they're going, is really important, and I can help them do it.
Certainly. And what you're doing is just of a really great value because let's take personal fitness training for a second, like myself and using myself as an example. I mean, other trainers, I know they could certainly use, your services and because there's a lot of masters that you serve when you're a business entrepreneur, especially a small business person, and you have a lot of clients to balance out and a lot of issues that come up, and not everybody's the same when you're a business owner. You have to serve so many different people, and it's so delicate. It's like a big balancing act. And so to get I like what you said earlier that when you get with those other I'm sorry, professionals, some fitness professionals, but those other professionals are like a board of directors, and that networking is just so powerful. And to hear and brainstorm, for lack of a better word, their ideas to help you out, I just think that that's one of the most powerful things that people need to utilize. So I really like what you're doing. Linda, can you tell me about some of your greatest success stories?
Uh, sure. Let me just think a second about one of my biggest success stories was when I was working with two teams.
Okay.
They had one director, but two teams, and this was in a really large organization. And the director came to me and she told me that one of the teams didn't want to work with me anymore. And she was very distraught about it. The other team was fine working with me. They liked working with me. She was very concerned, and we were on the phone, and I said, "Oh, I know what the problem is. There's a certain young woman in the team, and she doesn't like me. I have no idea why she doesn't like me, but I'm very clear that she doesn't. And she's the leader of the team, and everybody in the team follows her." So I asked permission to make an appointment with her, and of course I got the permission. And to the to this young woman's, to praise her, she was willing to meet with me and to be very honest with me. So I asked her a bunch of questions, and then got to the question of, I would love some feedback. I'm always wanting to improve myself, and she said, "Well, you have this tone of voice when you talk, and it makes me feel like I've done something wrong." Well, I don't know if you know what that is, but I reminded her of her mother. So I was her mom, and
Oh,
apparently her mom and she did not get along very well. So as soon as I knew that, I just kept asking her more questions and just really listened to her, because what I got was her mom didn't listen, but I did. And so by the end of our time together, she was asking me questions, asking me for some coaching advice, and we had a retreat about 2 weeks later. She kept running up to me. "This is the best retreat we've ever had. This
ah.
is wonderful." And she had asked me to change my tone of voice because that was the thing that was bothering her. And I said, "Oh, absolutely, I'll change my tone of voice." Well, how do you change your tone of voice when you're up in front of a group, for 8 hours?
Mhm.
So I never changed anything, but the relationship between us had changed. So this is on a very personal level. This is a huge, huge accomplishment for me. In terms of my clients, if you were to talk to them, they're
Mhm.
making more money. They have more clients. They are really clear about who their ideal client is. They're clear about what their purpose is. It's funny when you ask somebody to talk about their vision or to create their the mission or the purpose for their company. Sounds so boring. But if you listen, when you're listening to people being interviewed on television, they could be they could be ball players, they could be CEOs of companies. The word vision and the word purpose comes through constantly. They're very clear about what they're doing
Hmm.
and they're going and why they're doing it. So when I work with my clients and they get very focused about what their vision is, what their purpose is, then they're off to the races. They know where they're going.
Very good, Linda. Well, let's talk about the flip side. That's wonderful. I'm sure there's been some challenges or maybe some times where you've had some opportunities, if you will, or some obstacles. Let's say, what are some of the times that maybe you might have had, your greatest challenge, that you can share?
I was working with a team. It's funny, I hadn't thought about this for a long time. I was working with a team. Um, but there were 8 people and the CEO, and the CEO really was the problem. And he was a big gossip.
Mm-hmm.
And his operations manager insisted that he work with me one on one and do coaching with me.
Mm-hmm.
He was really unhappy. He did
Mm.
do that, but he acquiesced. So we got on. We had met each other, but we I coached him over the phone, and I said, Bruce, I'm really clear that you do not want to be on this call, and
Mm-hmm.
that you're doing it because you're being forced to do it. So why don't we just have one call? Let's see what happens. You don't like it, you don't have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the call, well, we continued for 6 months. So that was a big challenge and
Mm-hmm.
really positive outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And the secrets is that I took his resistance away. He had a choice. Now, if
Mm-hmm.
I said, you've got to do this, you have to do this, there's
Mm-hmm.
no option, he would have hated it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I gave him some freedom, and from that freedom, he was willing to continue. And also because, of course, I was so great.
Of course, that goes without saying. So now, let me harp on it again. We said it earlier. Next Thursday, put the date on the calendar. The people watching, if you missed it earlier, Thursday, April 23rd, that's going to be the Brainstorming Roundtable. Can you tell me and tell the people out there, Linda, what exactly is a Brainstorming Roundtable and what value does it have?
Well, the round table is a group of business owners. Generally, I work with small business owners, or as I say, I have attorneys, I have financial planners, people who are part of big organizations, but they are responsible for bringing in their own business. So we get together, and the whole purpose is to share their experiences, to gain information. We start out with an issue. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, with one of the groups that I'm working with, this woman brought an issue to the group, and within about 3 minutes, I just looked at the group and I said, "That's not your issue." And everybody in the group went, "No, that's not the issue at all." And we all knew what the issue was, except for the person who had it.
Okay.
So we said, "Don't you think this is the issue?" And her eyes got really big, and she said, "Oh yeah, that's the issue. That's the thing that I need to work on." So we just moved from there into what she really needed to work on.
Hmm.
So just that sort of thing. She would have been working on this other thing in her own mind that really wasn't what needed to be dealt with. When you've got a group of people, we don't just go to advice. We first ask what we call clarifying questions.
Hmm.
And the thing that's really interesting about those is that the person who brings the issue or the opportunity winds up knowing so much more and has so much clarity about what they really need to do as a result of those questions. And then from that place, we can start to give them advice.
Excellent. Very
So,
good.
as I said, you've got your own board of directors. It's completely confidential, and I really want to stress that it's a very safe, confidential environment.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds great. And we've talked a little bit and touched on, the benefits of, the people that are going to the round table, what they're going to be getting out of it. And you shared a really great success story there. Can I ask you, as far as let's talk about the people that come to the round table, talk about what kinds of challenges or opportunities do they bring? If you can maybe give an example there of some of the people that come to the table.
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing that people need to work on and need help with is hiring people
Hmm.
and going. What's the right process? How do you find the right person?
Yeah.
How many hours might they need that person? And how do they go about interviewing? Interviewing and hiring. So that's the biggest issue.
Ah,
Now,
gotcha.
that's not the
Hmm.
only issue,
Hmm.
obviously. That's one. If somebody who's listening says, "Well, I don't have anybody working for me," um, any kind of opportunity that might be coming your way would also be something that you could bring to the group. Getting your own retail space or getting your own office space as opposed to
Yeah.
working out of your home. All those kinds of things are really important to talk about.
Yeah, yeah, certainly. I could relate, I'm not going to go into full detail of some of the personal stuff I'm going, through, but I could certainly benefit from going to a round table myself with y'all because a couple of the items, and again, I don't have employees that work for me, but there's several things that I'm going through right now. Not to be too candid, but and again, might have some of the clients watching that I've addressed, but I'm actually increasing my rates right now, and I'm also implementing a few other policies to some of my clients, again, not to get too specific, but enforcing payment on time and like a 24-hour cancellation policy. And again, this is stuff that I'm always continually, having battles with. And I know other trainers too really have a lot of. So, again, if there's other trainers that are watching this, or if there's anybody, who has any kind of item or a challenge like that, I'm sure they can benefit greatly from one of these brainstorming roundtables. As such, can I too. So.
That's such a perfect example. Those are
Hmm.
such perfect examples.
Yeah.
Race rates is such a great thing to talk about.
Hmm.
Boundaries,
Hmm. Hmm.
you know, determining who your ideal client is, what you expect from them. That's
Yeah.
something I do with a lot of my clients. What I expect from you and what you can expect from me, and really being clear about those things from the get-go. It's very,
Right.
very important, and it's always fun to put together because when you're done, you've really created something that's so important.
It really is, and what you just said too is not something that's fundamentally taught in school or even college. This is stuff like real life business, work things and issues that, again, you can't, take a course on this, but just go into like one of these brainstorming roundtables. What better solution than talking to other professionals in their different industries to see, what they say works and what things that have worked for them. Now, getting my next question here, I'm thinking about your typical makeup of a round table. You've got someone like me, a fitness trainer. You've got a dentist. You've got an attorney here. What is a typical makeup of a round table, Linda?
Well, one of the things that I think is really important is to have all kinds of different brains.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
creative brain,
Mm-hmm.
a very logical brain,
Mm-hmm.
somebody even who's really foo-foo, sort of floating up in the air somewhere, can really bring a lot because it's a
Yeah.
whole different way of approaching an issue. So typically, I love having an attorney in my groups
Okay.
because they always go to the worst possible scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it's really true and it's great.
Yeah.
Um, Financial planner.
Right.
I've had uh, people who do fitness.
Mm-hmm.
I've had CPAs.
Mm-hmm.
The group that I'm putting together now is real interesting to me. I have somebody who owns a bunch of. She doesn't own, but she runs a dance studio,
Oh,
and
okay.
she's in the process of growing, which is really different.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have somebody who's just starting out in business and is a wine expert.
Mm.
Um, but she's been in business in other areas previously. And then I do have a financial planner and just almost anybody that you can think about. Someone who's an image consultant. I've had
Hmm.
two image consultants in my groups.
Hmm.
Social media people. I've had
Hmm.
groups. I have one coming into the group that it's starting on the 23rd. So all kinds of different brains and all kinds of different businesses.
That's wonderful. I think the more diverse, the better. Anyway, and I agree
Oh,
with you.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, you touch on so many different bases where you wouldn't just normally think one way. But let me ask this. This is my next question to you, Linda. As a business coach, this is just a straightforward question, but what is your focus as a business coach?
My focus is to, what I always do is ask my clients how they'll know we've been successful.
Okay.
And then that's what our goal is to achieve that success. That's my focus.
Okay. Okay. I love it. That's excellent. And we've talked a little bit about different entrepreneurs and business people that come to the meetings, but who is your typical client in general? Who do you usually end up seeing?
Generally speaking,
Hmm.
professional people,
Okay.
accountants,
Right.
financial planners, as I
Yeah.
said,
Right.
attorneys. That's generally who I work with. But as I say, I've got this person now who I'm working with who is a wine expert.
Yeah.
So what's so great, and I have another person who's a construction guy,
Oh
and
wow. Okay.
and what's wonderful is that it doesn't really matter what you do if you're in business, and you need to have goals. You need to know who your clients are. You need to know how to get them. It's all the same sauce. It really doesn't matter what your business is.
Excellent. That's great, Linda. I am just greatly intrigued, and again, have really enjoyed this interview and our conversation, and being able to meet you. I know that I met you in person a couple of years ago over at the Ziffers, and they're our mutual friends, and love those guys. And also wanted to say this is where I come to the point of the video now. And again, I want to make sure that the people watching, I want to stress it. Let's tell them again, Linda, as we wrap up, can you please do me a couple of things here and tell the people about your next brainstorming roundtable? Tell them all the specifics, the entire 411, where it's going to be at, the time, the date, anything else they need to know about this roundtable. And then if you could also please give any contact information you feel comfortable posting right here on this video blog, website, phone number, email, anything you want to, just please go ahead and let's take it away and give that to the folks out there watching.
Okay, well, my name is Linda. The last name is Zook, and it's spelled Z like zebra, UK. And I say that because everyone hears a C like Charles instead of the Z like zebra. So it's Linda Zook, and my company is Focus 5 Consulting. The roundtable is beginning on Thursday the 23rd in the Sandy Springs area. I don't really want you to know where and just show up unless I know that I've spoken to you. It's from 11 until 1, and it's a monthly meeting. The commitment is for 6 months.
Mhm.
And my email address is Linda, Linda, at Focus5 Consulting, FOCUSFIVE, consulting.com. So I'd love for people to connect with me. Just a wonderful opportunity to grow your business.
Well said, Linda. And again, for the folks watching out there, as we bring this to a close, if you didn't have a pen and paper, fear not. We're going to be fading to black here in about a minute, so that way all the info that Linda just said is going to be right there on the screen, and we'll have that for you. So, Linda, I have thoroughly enjoyed this, and again, I promise you, I will be coming to a future brainstorming roundtable because you have really piqued my interest even more. So, Andrew, if you're watching, Andrew has really raved about it too, and Kathy Marshall as well.
That's right. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, again, for the folks watching, take it from me. These are really great people that are vouching, and I've met Linda in person, wonderful woman, and you just got to listen to her right here and watch her on our video Skype call. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I would love to have you back on a future one too, and we can talk about maybe we could talk about how the brainstorming roundtable went after it's done for the next one. I think that would be great for the people out there. So
Thanks, Terrence, so much. This has really been fun for me, and I
yeah,
really appreciate the opportunity. It's
my
really been
pleasure.
enjoyable.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah, thank you so much. So, well, folks, again, there's Linda, and again, as we fade to black here comes her information. Thanks again, Linda. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right, folks, so there you have it. Linda Zuck of Focus 5 Consulting, and you got all the information right there. I want everyone to check it out if you can make it next Thursday, April 23rd. Go to the Brainstorming Roundtable. You will see Taryn the Traveling Trainer at one of those very soon as well. So take it from this guy. You're going to get a lot out of it, and everybody needs a business coach, including Taryn the Traveling Trainer. So there you have it, a very special Tuesday edition right here, first ever here on GoTarryn TV. And folks, by the way, you guys, that means are getting 2 Skype interview calls this week. You had Linda Zuck of Focus 5 Consulting, and then in 2 days from now on Thursday, this Thursday, the 16th, you're going to be seeing yet another guest right here on GoTarryn TV, Pastor Jackie Sanders of Fellowship Christian Center. So I hope you guys will tune in for that. Again, let's talk about the schedule. So your homework assignment is this Thursday, the 16th, to check out the next Skype video call, the first ever 2 calls in 1 week, a treat, a double treat just for you watching. And then on Friday, April the 17th, I want everybody to watch my weekly Circle of Praise, because I'm going to be talking about Linda Zuck and Focus 5 Consulting yet again, and highlighting her company brand and telling you some of the other things that we didn't really talk about getting into, such as her availability to offer personal consulting as well and personal coaching. So be on the lookout for that. And then finally, again, one more time, I've been telling you repetitively, next Thursday, April 23rd, lunchtime, and you're going to be in Sandy Springs going to the Brainstorming Roundtable. But first, make sure you call or email Linda directly. You have the information right there. Contact her and let her know you want to make it. And then tell her that you saw the information right here on GoTarryn TV. Alright, folks, so that's it for today. I want to thank everybody for watching. I will see you guys in 2 days. And until I see you guys then, please remember that with GoTarryn Personal Training, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. Happy Tuesday. We'll see you on Thursday, folks. Bye-bye.